about proper sitting posture. What does that look like? We're going to talk about 3 specific areas that are focal points to have good posture when you're sitting, and potentially one bonus. Sit back, relax, enjoy this. So, common problem that we see with clients and people in general is our postures are getting worse and worse. And why is that? Well, we are sitting more now than ever. We are sitting in our cars, we are sitting in our classrooms, we're sitting at our jobs, we're sitting on Zoom calls. We just seem to be sitting a lot. And if we're not aware of key areas that we're going to go over today, that posture breaks down even more and compensations develop and they get stronger rather than improve if we're not aware of them. So out of the 3 top things to look for, number 1 most important area that I want you to focus on for good posture, I want you to focus on your hips. So from a side view, if I were to scoot away from this chair a little bit, now I know I'm wearing black, but you can see there's a gap space between my back, my low back, and the back of the seat. Now, especially for you seeing this and viewing it, what I want you to think about doing is actually losing the curve in your back for a second, which would be rounding and putting pressure against the back of the seat. So this is probably the most common posture that we see. People are tucking their hips under, shoulders are rounded, and head is coming forward. That is not the ideal. So I want you to think about sitting tall from your low back, and I'm going to stay away from the back of the seat so you can see this. I'm going to tilt my pelvis forward a little bit so that the muscles are actually working, which are going to stabilize my spine and strengthen my spine. I'm going to make sure that if I was working on this computer here, I would actually raise this computer up, because this computer, even if it's a desktop or laptop, doesn't matter, it's already kind of low. My hands are lower than this aligned 90-degree angle. So I would want to actually raise this computer or desk up so that it's a little bit higher up, potentially about this high. But I'm going to keep that arch in my back, and with my shoulders, the longer that I sit, no matter who I am, the more my shoulders are going to round. So I actually want to think about chest out, shoulders coming back, and then with my head position, I want my ear, my shoulder, and my hip all in alignment. And you can actually see with this posture grid behind me that if I'm rounded, you can see how I'm slumping. I'm literally off the grid. So I'm going to tilt my pelvis forward. I'm going to pull my shoulders back, and I want my head back too. And then I'm going to raise up the computer so it's a little bit higher. And my eye line should be a slight gaze downward, but not looking down. Slight gaze downward. So my screen needs to be up here, not only for my hand position, but if it was a desktop, I would have the screen up a little bit higher. So big arch in my low back, shoulders back, head forward. And then I'm going to try and hold this position. Now you may get tired, or if you do get tired, you could scoot back into the back of your seat, scoot your butt all the way to the back of the seat. And then from this position, I'm still going to keep my shoulders back, and I'm working from this position. Last tip I would say too is you want to think about, your bonus tip is that your feet are flat on the ground, and that you're not, one leg up, you're not leaning to one hip, you're actually sitting really tall and you're working. Now, if you have the opportunity to stand in a standing desk, some of this is the same kind of thinking. You can cheat in a stand. Just because you have a standing desk doesn't mean that that's going to be necessarily good for your posture and good for your body if you're not using it correctly. So you want to stand with the weight even in both feet. I'll do another video that talks more about this, but just basics is the same. So you want your feet flat. You want hip, knee, ankle, creating a 90-degree angle. Feet are on the floor. Shoulders are back. A little bit of an arch in your back. Head is up, and you're working. And then when your body, you feel like it's time to move into a different position, but make your set point coming back to this good postural sitting posture. That's it. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you in the next video.